inside this glove box, there's a screw right here and a screw right here. Now that don't actually hold the whole glove box in. I'll show you what it does. Take this screw out. Actually, hey Cheyenne, can you give me that drill, please?
Yep.
I want to stick all these screws in here. Oops, sorry. I want to cheat a little bit here. My bit's screwed up, but I like it because it's long. Okay. Now that's loose. What that does is hold this piece in. Now, I'm going to close that for a second here. What we're going to do is we're going to start right over here and get your fingers up underneath this right here and pull out. That was already loose because we had this out the other day checking things out. And these will just pop out, but you got to be careful because these things, they get old after time, and it's plastic. You know, the heat and cold. As you can see, these will pop up out of here like that. Just be kind of ginger with it, and that will come out just like that. Okay, so put that up in the back window, please, Cheyenne. Now right here we have a hex head bolt, which I've got something for that right here. The right one. And that's the size we need. That can go closed for now. Screw there. Now they make a tool for this. I don't have one, so we got to do it the old-fashioned way. Now, go around to the other side. Same way as we did that long one. What you have to do now, there's a plug over here. See that? It's right here. You push that, and that'll unlock it. You unplug that. There's that. Gotta put that parked for now. Gotta leave these keys in here because this is a theft system. If you don't, I found out the other night when I pulled this out, I didn't have the key in the ignition, locked the doors, I couldn't unlock it with a power button. Now this is what it takes to get a factory stereo out of these Buick LeSabres, I don't know, like 99 or 2000 to 03 or something like that. I'm not positive, but somewhere right in there. If your vehicle looks like this, it'll probably be about the same. This is double din, is what this is called. Single din is the real skinny stereos. The double din's the real wide ones. So you just take these clips, push them in, and pull that out. Now you lose your chimes. And there's that. Now, up inside here, this is ribbon style connector. Now what we're going to have to do is cut some of this stuff out. There's the antenna for the radio. We're going to have to cut this out so our new stereo will go back in, because this sticks out and the stereo will stick out too far than the new one. So I'm going to have to cut some of this out. In the meantime, I got to pull this dash out. Now in order to do that, I've got to pop this up out. This will come out, and then unplug the light sensor for the headlight dimmers. And once this comes out, there'll be some screws down inside here that holds this dash pad on. That's what we're going to take out. So I'm going to get that out, and I'll be back with you here in a minute.
Hey YouTube, this is what my Buick looks like. All the stuff, console stuff is off of there, and Shea Bear is starting the next process of putting in my stereo. Just thought you might want to get a quick look at it.
Now, you know, I don't recommend doing this without unhooking the battery, but for this video, this how-to, for the sake of this video, the battery on these Buicks are underneath the back seat, which that's where Pooh Bear's sitting. I didn't want her sitting on the battery, but I've done a million of these, so I'm not going to have any exposed bare wires that I got to worry about shorting out. But remember, anytime you do something like this, please unhook the battery. Okay, YouTube, Shea Bear 1000 here. Now I've got trying to scoot the seat back here. Okay, I've got, oh shit, the stereo in. I've got the face plates back on. I still got to get underneath here. Now, there's a lot I didn't record. See, I had to trim this out. Let me get in on that real tight. But I've got a face plate that will go on this and cover that up. But I've got some more trimming to do for it to look nice, for the face plate to go on. See, these are curved and it's hard to get them to look nice. Now, it did fit in the hole when the stereo was out, but once I put it in, of course it was at a different angle, just enough to where I had to trim it. But once I get the face plate on, it'll be fine. I'm not going to bore you with that stuff. Now this is her iPod. Now I just drilled a hole through the back of our little drawer there to put this in. It's got our screws and stuff for the dash. I like this little thing. The other thing is you can't, see what songs it is when you get your headphones on. But once you plug it into the stereo, you will see it. Now, let me see what else. I had to cut the back out a little bit. I just used a knife because I don't have a Dremel tool, and so I just used a razor knife right here. It took a little bit, but it worked. So I've still got to put underneath there that face plate on for, it's like a kick panel underneath the steering wheel. Now I ran out of time last night. That's why I didn't record a whole lot, because it's pretty much self-explanatory. Other than that cutting, you do on these Buicks have to cut a little bit. Now it doesn't really bother the structure of the dash. There's your airbag. Whoa, what the hell? Sorry about that. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, but it doesn't bother the structure. This is all plastic anyway. But as you can see, I'm really pulling on that. It's strong. Now if you see smoke, I'm smoking cigarettes, so don't be alarmed. The car's on fire. But anyway, I was going to videotape more for you, but I was kind of running out of daylight. I was out here kind of late after dark, and took a break and watched a movie with the girls. But what I want to tell you is these Buicks now up here, when you get that's a lock and dock system or dock and lock system. Now, I have the schematics, and for the part I bought for the plug, for the wiring harness. Now this is for the, let me get up on it, is the wiring harness for the car from General Motors. Now, as you can see there, switched 12 volt ignition, okay, yellow wire, bullshit. Now, how the original stereo was working, I don't know, but there is one switched wire up there. It is not yellow, but it only is switched in the run position on the ignition. So I looked everywhere to try to find a switched to where it was switched in the run and accessory position, and the only thing I could find was for the wipers. Because, you know, when you're parked and you don't have your car running, you want to listen to some music, you turn, you know, the ignition back to accessory. Well, the stereo wouldn't work. So I had to come over here and down under there, and right in there, oops, sorry, smoke. Right in there, I had to tie into the windshield wipers because they will work in both the run and accessory position. So now, what I didn't get to show you is these pillars, the covers, they have to come off in order to get that dash out. I'm getting ready to put the dash back in, the dash pad up here. Now, I showed you pretty much how to get that out. Now, up there, as you can see, there's a couple little holes right there, and there's a couple over here and one over there. Now, those just, once you get this panel off, I was showing you, them holes down in there, they'll go in like this, and that's what holds this dash in. Then there's a couple clips up here on top. This is for the alarm and keyless entry. And like right here, a clip will come down in, you push that pad in. Make sure you have it lined up real good and be very careful. I'm just sitting here waiting on the car to warm up because I got some plastic pieces in here I don't want to get broke. So that's it. Other than the camera, it's pretty straightforward. There's a wire up here I got to run to the reverse light so that it kicks the camera on as soon as you put it in reverse. Damn, I zoomed in again. And then, of course, a power wire and your ground and your video, for your video, your what is that, CA cable. And there's my power. So the power wire, what I wanted to tell you was I'm going to hook it up to the reverse lights. So that way when I put it in reverse, it will kick this right automatically into the camera mode. And this, when the reverse lights come on, it will put power to the camera and kick the camera on. So I don't, you know, she don't have to, you know, fumble with that and turn the camera on and stuff. She just puts it in reverse, the camera will automatically kick on. And that is, these are infrared lights, so they are, it is night vision. I checked it out and tried it. So it is night vision, so maybe we can ghost hunt with it back and down the street. So, but this stereo, we was wanting an upgrade for the stereo. So what it was I really wanted, since we're on street parking now, I really wanted to get her a backup camera. She does, poor thing, Pooh, she has trouble backing up. And so I was looking online, and the cheapest real good camera and monitor that I found was like 150 bucks. Well, I gave 144 for that with the camera. So I was like, and plus this has, you can see all the functions. It's got USB, it's got TV. Of course, I'll have to get an antenna if we want to watch TV. It's Bluetooth compatible. It's got an SD card, memory card, iPod, auxiliary, you know, radio. It does all kinds of stuff. It is remote control as well. So, and it is also a